Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. So today I've had a box arrive. I have just quickly opened it, but I've not done anything else to it. So I thought I would just go through this little bit with you. This is the M Parts Siphon G from Accurascale. I'd heard a couple of free people saying about the box had arrived in sort of like torn, etc, etc. So I just wanted to show you my box. So as you can see, I've opened the lid. It didn't turn up like that. But box is healthy. There's no damage to it at all. And opening the lid, you can see that it's got this air bubble packaging stuff around it. And then there's some that side and some that side. So I'm trying to hold the camera, and the thing itself is in its package, perfect condition. So happy with that. So this is the box itself. Again, I'm not going to do an unboxing or anything. There's people and there's loads of other people that do that. So I think one of the other people had said that it's a bit of a pain to get out. Weren't too bad. That's the vehicle there. Comes with some words and a certificate. So that just leaves a model. And for this I'm going to use my titanium white. This is really old now, so in some ways it's pretty good because it dries a lot quicker. I'm sure that if you was an artist, you know this would have been in the bin a long time ago. But for what I need it for, it's actually really useful. As you can see. So I'm just almost going to dry brush it, almost. It might look pretty scary at the minute, but this will blend in, trust me.
So this is progress so far on my M parts vehicle. So as you see from out of the box, what I did, I used some titanium white, Winsor & Newton titanium white, which I used just to sort of tone the whole thing down. So basically just fade the colour out a bit. Now you can do this with an airbrush by using sort of 2 or 3 coats of white, however you really want to do it. I quite like using the titanium white because I think it's easier, it's less cleaning up, and it does equally as good job. As you see also, when I applied it, it might have looked a bit of a mess, but it does thin out. You've got to sort of be, I think, maybe a little bit brave to sort of go ahead and do that. But you can see the results are not too bad. Then what I did, once that had dried, I give that 24 hours to dry. Bearing in mind that titanium white's really old. I think most of the oil's gone out of it as well now, so it's kind of on its last legs, but it is perfect for this because it does sort of dry quite quickly. For me, it's perfect, but I suppose if you was an artist, you wouldn't touch it. Once that had dried, then what I do, I used another one of my favourite colours, burnt umber. As you see, just a little tiny little bit of that. And I mix that down and then use that kind of as a wash to go through. And then I put that in the grills. And then once that had dried off just a little bit, I then pulled that down the side with sort of another clean brush. Just pulled it down the side to give sort of an effect of stuff running out of the grills and just general dirt on the side. After that, I came in with my pastel colours. Surprisingly enough, you can actually get away with using some colours that you'd never have thought of. You know, you can sort of blend. I had some like pinks and some oranges, and by the time you blend all that together, you actually can come up with some quite good colours. You might put it on and think, oh no, I've really sort of done this, but I think part of the thing is to sort of be brave and just carry on. And if it all goes wrong, then you can just also use a little bit of thinners and it'll sort of come off a little bit, and you end up with some quite nice effect. The side you're looking at now is the side that's not weathered. I would have said the lighter weather side, and if I turn it round, that's the side that's slightly more weathering on. I don't really know how well the camera picks that up. And by the time I actually put a coat of lacquer on it, that will take some of that away. Even if it looks a bit sort of bright here and there, that will blend it a little bit more. But this is what I was saying about using different colours. There's the whites in there, and there's some pinks in there, and there's some oranges in there, and there's some sort of deeper colours in there as well. But I think the whole lot gives quite an overall effect. Like I said, bearing in mind, this is going to be a pretty much unloved coach, and they're going to get dirty. It's sort of just used between ferrying between depots and bits and pieces, you know. And when it's not in use, it's going to be just sort of parked up somewhere on a siding. And if that happens to sort of be next to trees and stuff, then that'll have an effect on it as well. It's kind of, the weathering is open to all. I've not actually used any pictures or anything else to sort of reference this. This is just all done freehand and sort of how I would expect to see it. You know, the weathering might be a little bit, as I say, it's a little bit harsher on this side, and the other side is a little bit softer. Gives you the options. But by the time this blends out, you shouldn't look too bad. Now for me, probably the only one that comes close to being able to be used on Phoenix Parkway is the one you see in front of you, which is the M Parts one. All the others, unfortunately, the Postals ones and stuff, they all finished around about 1982, and then other ones finished a lot earlier than that. So this is about the only one that I can actually use. I expect also I'm going to have to employ just a little bit of modeller's license, because I don't think within their normal sort of like running, they actually sort of went too far north. To come up to here, the backstory is that it's coming to the end of its life, and it was used more of just a general utility van, still to move parts and bits and pieces around, but it just covered a larger area perhaps than what it would have done originally, and bringing new parts to the depot and possibly taking away older parts for refurbishment. So as you can imagine, there'll be a lot of dirt and grease around this thing all the time with parts going in and out. For the purposes of this video, it's really only the sides and ends that I've done. The roof and under frame I will get the airbrush out for, and I will airbrush them. There's a few other wagons that need to be done as well, so I should do the whole lot at the same time.